Hello and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the mid-October time period. Please remember that this is a general reading. There may be some parts that do not resonate with you. Please take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest behind. You may also want to check out your other signs as well. I've already meditated on the cards. I have already shuffled the cards, and this is a spread that I have for you today, dear Sagittarius. In the past position, we've got the Four of Wands, clarified by the Queen of Wands. In the obstacle position, we've got the Five of Pentacles, clarified by the Eight of Wands. In the present position, we have the Three of Pentacles, clarified by the High Priestess. And in the future outcome position, we have the Five of Swords, clarified by the Ten of Swords. In the past position, we have the Four of Wands, which is definitely a wonderful card. It's a card of celebration. It's a card of happiness or success, perhaps, on a family level, most likely, perhaps also at work as well. Definitely, the Four of Wands is a really good omen to have in a reading. You can see this wonderful warm yellow background, which always, when you see cards with warm yellow backgrounds, suggests that, you know, it's a happy card and it's going to bring, you know, joyful kind of experiences and really great memories as well. This card suggests that, you know, whatever you have achieved, you know, in the recent past, you actually put in a lot of effort. It wasn't, you know, something wasn't just given to you. You really worked hard for it. And definitely there's, you know, a lot of traditions that mark, for example, if you finish school and get a diploma, then definitely, you know, it would be a time of the Four of Wands where you know, get to celebrate with your family or your friends. It could also be that you're feeling really grateful for something, perhaps, you know, something, you know, you thought was going to go one way, but it actually came out quite successful. And so definitely, you know, it's a wish card. It's a very positive yes card as well. And of course, the Queen of Wands is also a really wonderful card. Definitely this lady sitting on her throne is very powerful. She has authority. She's, you know, definitely accomplished quite a lot. She's very ambitious, and, you know, she's kind of social. She has empathy. You know, she enjoys being around people. She enjoys kind of bringing people together. So definitely in the combination, these two cards suggest to me that something really wonderful happened in the not so distant past for you that maybe created a foundation for you, you know, that brought kind of stability, that brought kind of that security, if you will, inside as well as outside, you know, that kind of continues to give you strength so you can move forward and, you know, accomplish and pursue the dreams that you have. In the obstacle position, we've got the Five of Pentacles clarified by the Eight of Wands. Definitely, there's a little bit of wands in this corner that we see, and wands are usually, you know, a fire element, which is kind of unpredictable. So definitely wands bring that unpredictability, a little bit of impulsiveness to, you know, the situation at hand, of course. But the wands are wonderful because they kind of suggest that you are really focused on things that really matter, and one of those things are usually family, of course. In the obstacle position, the Five of Pentacles is a wonderful kind of, I mean, it's not a wonderful card to have, but, you know, it's has a positive meaning, actually, because in a normal position, you know, the Five of Pentacles is a card of poverty and financial restraint, if you will. But in the obstacle position, the Five of Pentacles means the opposite. It means that you're gaining momentum to get finances, that your finances are actually going in the right direction. And if you are not feeling that way, then soon you will be. Definitely this card suggests that the worst is over and that, you know, people are opening up to you and people are welcoming you and accepting you for who you are. So definitely very much kind of a relief that you will experience throughout October towards the end, especially. The Eight of Wands, however, in the obstacle position suggests that there may be some delays and some setbacks in your progress. There's going to be very, very slow movement, and you may feel like you want to interfere a little bit, but it would be for your kind of in your best interest to just let things play out as they will. Kind of don't push too far and don't push too hard, because especially, like, you know, if you have a lot to accomplish and time is always kind of limited, you may feel a little bit of anxiety, you may feel a little bit of stress. But the Eight of Wands in the obstacle position says, you know, just kind of let some things play out a little bit. You don't have to push, you know, and kind of try and kind of force things to happen, if you will. In the present position, we have the Three of Pentacles clarified by the High Priestess. The Three of Pentacles is a wonderful card. It's all about teamwork and collaboration. We see several people in this card, and they are all working together to build something, to create something, to you know, create something that means a lot. In the present position, we have the Three of Pentacles, of course, clarified by the High Priestess, which the Three of Pentacles is a wonderful card, very positive. It's all about teamwork. As we see, there are several people, three people in this card, showing to us that they are working together to on a common goal. Definitely the Three of Pentacles is a card of learning and a card of growth. It could be that you are teaching someone how to do something. It could be that you're learning from someone how to do something, but you're quite fastly becoming an expert at something. You're really gaining a lot of knowledge, which is just kind of giving you security on the inside as well. You know, it's important to have skills. It's important, you know, to have know-how and whatnot, because it helps you, of course, move in the right direction and have a better experience as well. We do, however, have the High Priestess in the clarifying position, which suggests to me that there may be something that is hidden from you. The High Priestess is ruled by the Moon, and Moon is kind of, she's also a person that contains secretive information. Moon is always a symbol for kind of things that are happening in the dark. And so definitely there is some secretive information that the High Priestess does not share. This card could be a warning that don't believe everything you hear. Sometimes when you work in groups and in teams, you have to double check. You have to verify for yourself some things rather than just trusting the person on their word. And also, you know, this is a little bit of a warning for you as well. Don't share, you know, too much information. When you keep things to yourself, sort of the dark forces then kind of cannot interfere and cannot derail, you know. There is a lot of value in silence. There's, you know, always a right time to speak, and there's always a right time to not speak. You know, and sometimes silence has a lot of value because, you know, you are protecting your own interests, you're protecting perhaps the interests of the people that you care about as well. So definitely kind of be a little bit on a lookout for, you know, things. Make sure that you are acting aware, and make sure that you are kind of noticing any kind of possible deceit that may be, you know, happening around you. The High Priestess in the clarifying position could also be a little bit of a warning that there may be a little bit of a conflict ahead, and it is not advisable to have a conflict in a team collaboration at this time. So kind of, if you're able to be proactive sensitive, and if you're able to prevent any potential problems, this is the time to pay attention, even to simple conversations, even to like monotonous things. This is the time to sort of be on, and kind of be aware, hyper aware, hyperly sensitive even to things that are happening around you, because you know there may be, if you're if at all it is possible to avoid conflict, that is the best outcome, of course. In the future position, we have the Five of Swords, which is another card that suggests there may be conflict on the horizon. And of course, you know, the reason we consult the tarot cards is to kind of help us see what may be coming towards us, and so that we are able to kind of avoid it. They're not set in stone, and like I said in the beginning of this video, they, you know, not everything resonates as well. Only take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But if there is a conflict on the horizon, you want to make sure that you have your diplomatic skills, that you have your negotiation skills. You want to make sure that you're able to have some resources that you could, you know, use in this particular situation. But the biggest warning, I think, of the Five of Swords is that don't be in a state of mind where you must win at all costs, because sometimes, you know, winning costs relationships. You know, being right is at times to be alone, you know, and that is something that each, you know, person has to decide what's right for them. Sometimes it's important to stand your ground, and it's important to be right. Other times it's less important, because ultimately, you know, people are going to continue to have the opinions that they do. Definitely the Ten of Swords is also, you know, a little bit of a warning, that there may be this conflict that may occur is, you know, going to not have a very good outcome. The Ten of Swords is energy that, you know, dead energy, also sometimes referred to as death by a thousand cuts. It could be that people are talking about you negatively. Regardless if they are talking about you negatively, it's always advisable not to reciprocate, you know, because that just kind of pulls you in. When you talk negatively about someone, it only hurts you and it helps them. So it's important to kind of stick to the positivity, stick to meditation, stick to affirmations, stick to burning sage to get rid of all the negative energy or vibrations that may be lingering around your home, especially in the month of October. So definitely, you know, the Five of Swords and the Ten of Swords is just the kind of warning from the divine that you know, have some things that you want to avoid. So make sure that you keep your eyes open, your ears open. Sometimes in difficult situations, I follow rules like believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. You know, especially if it is like, you know, several people who are not disagreeing. You know, make sure that you stick to your truth and try to sort of stay out of the fray, especially in the month of October, because as you know, the veil between the spirit world and our physical world is at its thinnest. This is the time to manifest. This is the time to maybe say a few affirmations, and especially like in the morning, you know, do a little ritual so that your day goes really well. And ask the divine and ask the spirit to kind of help you avoid any kind of negative words, you know, whether you are saying them or hearing them from someone else. You know, make sure that perhaps you need to be in a little bit of a bubble, you know, where you're kind of like, you know, see no evil, hear no evil, and sort of pay attention to what you're doing and to nothing else, what no one else is doing. You know, for each and every one of us, we use kind of different techniques to avoid avoid conflict, of course. And also, remembering that it's a very fertile time for manifestation, because, the High Priestess is a major arcana card, and she's all about wisdom, and she's all about patience as well. So definitely you have that coming in. So you should be able to definitely overcome whatever difficulties are going to be coming towards the end of October. Let's see if we can clarify some of this reading with the 3 energy oracle cards that I pulled. And they are 4th chakra Archangel Raphael, the Sun, and Woman Holding a Heart. I was not expecting the Sun, but definitely this is really reassuring. This is really wonderful. The Divine is smiling on you. The Divine is supporting you. The Sun is a wish card. You definitely have a lot of positivity here, because, you've got the 4 of Wands as well. The Divine is definitely looking out for you quite well. The Sun is wonderful blessings and wonderful gifts coming your way, which is really, a wonderful thing, of course. Archangel Raphael is also a meaningful kind of a sign from the Divine. It's all about love and compassion and self-acceptance. Raphael extends a beautiful green energy surrounded by gentle waves of pink to your heart center. So make sure that you take care of how you speak to yourself. Make sure that you experience that love. This card upright indicates that you now have a greater readiness to receive love from others as well as from yourself. It could also indicate that a much needed healing from a previous broken heart is taking place. The tender vibrations of Raphael remind you to encourage yourself with the compassionate self-talk that you desire to hear from others. Know that as you do, the light from your heart center will shine with an irresistible beauty, and the universe will send people and situations that cause your sense of love and support to grow and grow. And the affirmation that you want to say is, my heart center, my 4th chakra, is open to its perfect, healthy, and joyful state. The energy of love flows through me now. I live in love. The Sun, they say that when you receive an angel in your reading, then it's a really powerful message from the Divine that, there are people upstairs that are really looking out for you, and really want you to do well. There are a lot of people who care and want to make sure that you achieve your dreams and that you are successful. The affirmation for the Sun says, I open my heart and life to the creative inspiration of divine love. I choose to create happiness in every new day. It's just really, really wonderful. The Woman Holding a Heart it could be a friend in your life that is going to provide you with a little bit of advice that you need, especially in a difficult situation. But ultimately, remember that all the decisions that you have to make, they have to be made by you and you alone. Only you know what is best for you. Let's see what answers from angels we have. I also pulled 3 answers from angel cards. The one says, no, the situation will improve, and ask your angels. Definitely, it does seem like the angels want you to reach out a little bit more. The angels want you to work a little bit on that relationship where you kind of communicate with the Divine. That is true that, the Divine is aware of, every desire that you have, but it's at the same time, it's very important to communicate with the Divine as well, with the Spirit as well, however you define the Spirit as. It's very important to kind of keep the communication channels open in order to manifest your dreams. Unfortunately, it does look there's going to be a little bit of a delay, but we already knew, because we have the 8 of Wands Wands in the obstacle position. So things are not progressing in a manner that you want. There's going to be, you know, perhaps a bit of an obstacle, perhaps a little bit of a delay. You know, things are being realigned, which takes time. So definitely make sure that you remember that the situation will improve as, you know, more effort is put in. You know, as long as you sort of focus on the task at hand and continue to communicate, continue to meditate, continue to pay attention to the vibrations that are around you, then the situation, of course, very much will improve. I also pulled one card from Ancestor deck. Let's see what that card tells us. And it is Air Guardian. Shift your perception. Wonderful. So yeah, air, of course, relates to the swords. Definitely, if you're unable to shift your location, you have to shift your perception in order to contain positive emotion. Because if you know, feel like you're constantly in a battle, or you're tense, or you have anxiety, it takes away precious energy. So the divine here says that it's very, very important to make sure that you kind of protect, you know, what you've got. And, you know, if you're unable to change the circumstances that you're in, you have to change the way you think about those circumstances. Change the way you think and you will change your whole reality. When this card arises, it's an opportunity to learn about your way of thinking. You're being guided to recognize that not all you see is exactly the way you see it. Sometimes the mind can play games, and sometimes our perceptions can be wrong. If you are being challenged or feel that there's a lack of clarity and direction in your life, there is a good chance the way you're thinking or what you're focusing on has a lot to do with your reality. You're being guided to open your eyes and your mind, go beyond any limits you have set for yourself, and recognize that the way you see the world is how you will experience the world. Opportunities are moving in your direction. We know that because first, I mean, you have the Sun card, which is amazing. You have the situation will improve. You have the Four of Wands. You have a lot more positive cards in this reading than negative. You only really have one negative card, which is the Ten of Swords. And the divine here is saying that there's something with your perception that needs adjustment. Opportunities are moving in your direction, but they will only open for you if you're ready to do the internal work to support them. So definitely in the month of October, you're going to experience a little bit of growth. At times, growth can be a little bit unpleasant, but remember that it's really good for you in the long run. And once you overcome that growth, you're going to look back and you're going to see that was inevitable for you to kind of increase the enjoyment of your experience. Perhaps you've reached, the end of the road in the way you perceive the world in one way, and so you have to sort of push forward, break through the wall, and see additional things that you may have not seen otherwise. I hope you enjoyed this reading, Sagittarius. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Please feel free to leave any comments. It helps me connect with your energies. Also, please check back next week. I will be doing the monthly readings for the month of November. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.